there.
Yeah.
Just like, you know,
Yeah.
oh, look, thanks for putting that up for us.
Yes, exactly.
All right. And if you're having guests come over,
yeah.
keep an eye on
Watch your
them.
pets because guests may approach them differently. There's a big crowd. Again, it's a different routine. And someone may go up and just do this to Fluffy on the head, which is actually really stressful to them, right?
Okay.
Children, they're at a lower level. If your pet isn't used to children, you're putting your pet in a position where the only way they can say no is with their mouth, right? And that's
Good
not
point.
fair to them. So, you know, be aware of what environment you're setting up for your pet that's totally different from what it normally does. And then don't be annoyed with the outcome or figure out this is going to be difficult and set good parameters
well,
for them.
they can't figure it out for themselves, obviously. They just see change and a change in their routine.
Yeah.
All right, well, some great advice. You may think it's common sense, and I've been doing this show for over 10 years, and every year we hear about the chocolate. I just slipped my mind one day, and that was it, and my dog's fine. But just I'd let you know, just a very decorative living room the next day. Yeah. Anyways, we'll see you again real soon.
Okay, for
All
sure.
right, thank you very much. Taking a break, coming back, we're going to cook up a dish from the great taste of Manitoba and your health as well.
That's right, time now for Paws and Claws. Now, with the hustle and bustle of the holiday season, it can be a lot of fun, but it can also be very stressful for us and also for our pets. That's something to definitely keep in mind. We want to pay attention to our pets' needs at this time of year as well. We went out and talked to you. Here's how you deal with the holidays and the hustle and bustle at this time of year.
We put them away while they arrive, and then you open the door and let him out, and it's like a free-for-all, but they're all prepared before he comes out, and then he's fine. He calms down really fast.
She loved it. Yeah, she was. She would jump onto people and, you know, basically lick them to death. A friend of mine who has a cat, and I'm allergic to cats, so he has to sort of put them into a separate room. But most people seem to keep their pets out.
We don't have a lot of different people coming, so everybody knows pretty much the rules.
All right, so to make sure that your pets enjoy the festivities as well, we've got Andrea Render from the Animal Hospital of Manitoba here with us this morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. I'm good. Thanks so much for being here. I think that this is something really important that we should talk about because there's a lot of different elements to think about when you think about your pets at this time of year. What are some of the things that we want to keep in mind?
Well, I think the hardest thing for them is that our schedule changes, and animals really are very schedule focused. They know when their meal times are, they know when their owners come home, they know when it's bedtime, and that all changes.
Well, and you even notice that when you have an animal that wakes you up on the weekend because it thinks that, no, it's time for you to go to work. Why are you still in bed? So they really sort of get that internal clock going.
Yeah, so sometimes we see behavioral issues. Maybe they'll get into things more than they would have before because they don't know where you are and things are different. Also, there's lots of things out to access that is different, be it the tree, be it the presents, be it the candy. So, and then we're upset with our pets when really it's not their fault.
So you just need to be maybe a little bit more understanding.
Yeah, try and focus. If someone can come home and, you know, if you're heading to a party, someone can come home and maybe feed them, spend a little time with them, come back so that they know they haven't been just sort of abandoned. Because their ritual changed, and that's a big deal to them.
Yeah, that's huge, and that's something we don't always think about because we get so self-involved making sure all of our stuff gets done, then we don't think about them. And another big thing is guests. We're hearing that from some of our viewers as well when we just listened to that. People don't always know how to treat animals if they don't have animals themselves.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing you have to be aware of is children, be it children who live with pets or children who don't have pets, because they'll approach a guest pet or a visiting pet differently. So that's something to prepare your child for. I mean, if an animal doesn't live with a child and a child comes up and plays with them and mauls them and everything, the animal's only option to say no is with their mouth. And then
they can't tell you no, they have to show you.
Yeah, and then the animal's in trouble, which isn't really fair. So you need to prepare your children, and then if you have children coming, prepare the pets. So be it have them, I wouldn't say put them away, because that actually stresses them out more. They say, oh, why am I getting locked up? But allow the guests to come in and introduce your pet to the guests and make sure you're there with them. And cats, children want to pick them up. Cats have claws and teeth, and often people will approach animals and pat them on the head, which is really frightening to a dog. So sort of things you have to bear in mind, and introduce your guest to the pet and stay with your pet until that period's over. And then usually they're fine. But allow for an introduction and sort of an explanation to the pet why all these people have suddenly entered our home.
What are you doing here? And another thing, oftentimes people go away at this time of year, and boarding needs to be something that they need to look into. How do you know the right kennel to take your pet to?
I think it's really dependent upon your pet. So is your pet older? Does it have medication? Or is it just a healthy pet who is appropriate to go to a kennel where, you know, it is more of a